Homosexual people have the right to be in a family. Pope Francis offers new support for same-sex civil unions.
Here's a summary of the article.
Pope Francis endorsed same-sex civil unions for the first time as pontiff while being interviewed for the feature-length documentary, Francesco, which premiered Wednesday at the Rome Film Festival. While serving as Archbishop of Buenos Aires, Francis endorsed civil unions for gay couples as an alternative to same-sex marriages. He had never come out publicly in favor of civil unions as Pope. Cruz, who is gay, said that during his first meetings with the Pope in May 2018 after they patched things up, Francis assured him that God made Cruz gay. The director worked official and unofficial channels starting in early 2018, and ended up so close to Francis by the end of the project that he showed the Pope the movie on his iPad in August. The film tells the story of the Pope by reversing the cameras, said Vatican Communications Director Paolo Ruffini, who was one of Afinevsky's closest Vatican-based collaborators on the film. One of them was his former student, Yeo Grassi, who along with his partner visited Francis at the Vatican's Washington, D.C. embassy during the Pope's 2015 visit to the U.S. The Vatican publicized that encounter, making video and photos of it available, after Francis was ambushed during that same visit by his then ambassador, Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, who invited the anti-gay marriage activist Kim Davis to meet with the Pope.
This post received a score of 81,000, with an upvote ratio of 79%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I don't understand the point of the Pope if he says things like this and everyone in the church goes, "Fuck that, what's the point of him if he has zero effect on the average Christian?" It's very controversial, what he's saying, to staunch Catholics. I'm not surprised the general response is "fuck that," but he may have swayed some minds, which is worth it, emo. Yeah, but religion isn't like a business. The Pope is supposed to be God's representative here on earth. If Catholics can just decide he isn't because they don't like what he says, then what's the point of following that religion? It angers me that Catholics can ignore the Pope easily, but ignoring some vague anti-gay nonsense was apparently the hardest thing in the world to do.
That's not how it works though. In order for the Pope's papal infallibility to come into account, he must make a declaration ex cathedra, which is basically him saying this is 100% God's will. Any other time he speaks, he's speaking his personal opinions, which can be right or wrong.
I'm assuming you were a victim of autocorrect. It's ex cathedra, which means from the chair.
Yes, autocorrect. I'm assuming you were a victim of autocorrect. It's yes, which means yes.
Listen here, you little shit.
Pope Francis sounds exactly like someone who would ask, "What would Jesus do?" before speaking. And I mean the Jesus of the New Testament, not the supply-side Jesus.
What do you mean by supply-side Jesus? I've never heard that phrase used before.
It's a reference to this comic. There is also a joke to be made about how it's almost exclusively conservatives who adopt Jesus's name as a political policy point, but they're also the ones who are hard-line capitalists when in reality Jesus would have more in common with a socialist.
Wow. It started off funny, but got pretty depressing by the end. I applaud the creator though. It really sheds a light on the hypocrisy of people who only quote Jesus when it fits their narrative.
It was created by Al Franken.
He absolutely never should have resigned. Al Franken resigned because he knew that he had to take a stand in the face of all the dirty Republicans who refused to resign for raping children and other innocent people. Frankly, Al's resignation shifted the onus away from him and onto the American people. Al forced the American people to reveal themselves. Either you are against all non-consensual sexual deviance, or you're just against people who disagree with you. It's like the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, in which Lot gives up his own daughters to be raped rather than have his villagers rape a literal angel.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.